Okay, so Silver-tongued Devil here, doing a little bit more gunslinging, and today we're going to be going in there. Now, I'll link my other video in the description. That comes after doing this, but this is harder. You want to use the other video for improving your technique with what I'm liking to call gunslinging, just because it's got a very similar look and feel to what a cowboy would be doing, fanning the action on a revolver to rapid fire. We've got infinite ammunition and a crossbow being the obvious difference. So what we're doing, we're going in there. Why are we going in there? We want that 2.5 times multiplier. We want to get that before we kill anything else on the level. So I've roof-topped all the way over here. I've grabbed what I can, be it holy armors, any arrows that could help me out in there. Ultimately, we're going to be taking this a little slower and a little gingerly. We're not going to be worrying too much about the executioner bonus. We do want to get that orphan. First things first, you can teleport into the portal from anywhere you like, but if you position yourself somewhere safe, like I am, no aggroed enemies, right up on the roof, those guys don't seem to mind me too much at the moment. If we teleport in from up here, this is where we'll exit. Good news for us, less to deal with when we come out. So, let's go. So, a lot of ghosts up there. We still want to be prioritising archers as best we can. We want to be dealing with what ghosts we can, and then teleporting past the mainstay of them, and then maybe bring it back around again to finish some of them off. The more we move about, the more it will slow the ghosts. Slow ghosts is good. Don't worry about pickups too much. And obviously, anything that you have to use in here, I haven't got anything. But I just make this a little easier for myself and do it with vanilla arrows. Let's get out of the way of all of this. Try and get some of these ghosts whittled down in a moment. Now, we don't want to worry too much about most of the enemy types in here. Just want to be killing what we can, keeping our eyes out, trying to clear some safe spaces. You could do this a lot easier than I'm making for myself by clearing out some areas and just retreating to them. But you'll see what I'm doing is I'm just moving around, making sure I'm not staying in one place for too long. I'm using the sticks to keep the movement going, and then trying to deal with what I can. We don't need to worry too much about incubus. We'll finish them off where we can. Ideally, we want to be going for headshots. It's those archers that we want to be worried about. But you'll see here that I'm just moving around. I mean, it requires a little skill. I'm going reasonably gingerly here and just dealing with what I can. Keep doing this, and eventually we'll whittle down the enemies to the point where there's only 1 or 2 left. Now, ideally, what we want here is we want to be getting through this level, not getting cornered. You'll see that to escape that group, you've got to go around the sides. You've got to be careful that you don't get caught by them. Sometimes when you try and teleport, if it would be straight line, you might get caught by them. If you teleport off to the side, they can't do anything about that. Then they've got to turn all the way around again, and you've got time to deal with other stuff. So you'll see that we're creating a little bit of a safe space for ourselves at the moment. We'll come back here if things get that hairy again. Incubus is, as I say, don't need to worry too much about him. Lazing listily to the left or the right will do wonders for getting out of the way of his attacks. We do want to kinda be getting some headshots on those guys. They go down quicker. These are a pretty big target. Again, start with the body and rise up. Same sort of technique with the ghosts as well. Just let them come through the stairway there. And you'll see that I'm slowly but surely raising this crossbow just to make sure that I get them. As your aim improves with this, you know, you should be knocking those ghosts out of the sky pretty quick. You want to be aiming center of mass, so on that white circle, and I usually find a lot of the time slightly to the right is the hitbox that we want. Anyway, so now that we've cleared a little bit of the level, let's see if we can find the orphan. The orphan is obviously worth a decent amount of points. Points is what we're going for here. I mean, it's going to happen. There's a lot of ghosts. I've aggroed a lot of things. Let's get up here. Get her. And then we're not even going to stick around. We're just going to get out of here. A lot of these things are going to teleport after us, or chase us, or what have you. Big tip with ghosts, change your elevation, and they're going to take some time to track you down. So they've all gone up, I'll come down. That gives me a little time to deal with some of them if I can. Deal with the incubus first, just because he's there. Get back upstairs. And let's see if we can start whittling through this group. So we'll select one, get a load of bolts that way, and go back down again. So I suppose the big problem with ghosts is they are, and can be, like anything in this game, quite a scary combatant. So I suggest practice. Practice will help you deal with that. Soon you'll become familiar with them. Then they'll get to the point where you have nothing but contempt for all enemy types. So, pick up what bolts you can in here, might as well. They may not be your favourites, they may not be what you like, or so on or so forth. But they'll do the job. Now you see we've got a good 92,000 out of doing that. Nothing particularly fancy or special. Thing is, all the points are out there. Ghosts aren't worth a lot of points, even when a 2.5 times multiplier. Skeletons, not really either. Because ultimately we want to be chaining all of this to get the points. At this point, I would normally get out of here. Any sticking around that you do at this point, it's just going to cost you extra lives. If you've got full life, by all means, clear the level. We haven't. So let's just get out of here. And that's it. Slinging ourselves through the portal, a little bit more cautious than you'll have seen in the previous video, or at least I was trying to be. And you'll see that I've teleported back to where I teleported in from. So it's put me back to where I shot the teleport arrow from. So as long as you can make that shot, you can get into the portal, no problems. So as I say, I'll put a link in the description to the video that we would now go and do. So having done the portal, we would now return back to the start of the level, and that's where my next video would pick up. I would suggest, if you're new to the game, watch the first video first for a demonstration, more of an idea of the strategy and the techniques that we're going to be using out here, because this is a little bit easier. So I've been Silver Tongue Devil. Thank you very much for your time.